Good morning, and welcome to day number 7 of our excellent adventure. This is our last full day on the cruise. So tomorrow will be Boston, and tomorrow we will hop off the ship and go back home. But today is a full day here, though our port isn't until late. We don't arrive until Portland, Maine until 12:30. So 12:30 is when we pull in, so we have half a day at sea doing wherever that we want to do. But we have to also go through customs in Portland. So whenever that we arrive in Portland, we'll have to go through U.S. Customs. And we had a tour planned for at 2 o'clock, but we couldn't do our tour because we had to go through customs at 2:30. So those times didn't arrange real well. So we just went to the customer service desk. They moved our customs time till 12:45. So now we have plenty of time to make our tour. As you can see, the weather is perfect out here. A couple of islands way off in the distance, or maybe it's the mainland, not sure. But off in the distance, I can see land, and the temperature, it's probably about 63, 64 right now. So not extremely cold, but still pretty cold with all the wind. I'm kind of hiding over behind the handrail to keep out of the wind, somewhat. But we're going to take you around the ship and see what all there is to do on our last sea day here. Still haven't seen any whales out here. Been looking for them the whole time, but haven't seen any. One of the other things that's interesting today, we've changed the time back 1 hour. They'll put signs in the door telling you to change your clocks back. They'll announce it on the intercom saying change your clocks back. And then they'll also put it in the paperwork that's delivered to your room saying change the time back. But most of the people forget about changing their time back. And for the first time, I'm able to walk around on the outer decks of the pool. So all the decks on the outside, we can finally walk around today. It's warmed up. And as you can see by the pool, it's pretty flat. Not much waves out there today. So we'll walk around, see some of the upper decks on the ship. So the Zuiderdam has mostly an older crowd on here. I'd say mostly is an understatement. But there is an older crowd on the Holland America ships, but they do have a kids club. And each ship has one. And here you can see the kids club area. Sign out sheets for take in and out kids, little activities going on. And we haven't seen a whole lot of kids on here, but there have been a few. So there is a whole lot of rules, just in case you want to drop your kid off. But there is a kids club. One of the things, if you have a little one, you might want to consider on here is enrolling them. That way you can get some free time and they can meet new friends. So people are serious about pickleball, and they have pickleball up here, the very top deck next to the funnel. But right now there's not many people playing because it's so windy out here. There was a few people that showed up to play pickleball and decided, too windy. So they went back in. But there is a full-size basketball court and pickleball court up here if you have to get your pickleball going on vacation. They also have shuffleboard up here. Not very often do I see them playing shuffleboard, but they have everything for it. Every once in a while on longer cruises, they will have a shuffleboard tournament where that people will come out and play. But haven't seen any of that this trip. Too cold. And on deck 9 by the pools, they have ping pong tables. They have hours on this to keep people from playing all the time. But there are ping pong tournaments also. The hours of ping pong are from 9 to 9. Like I say, they've had several ping pong tournaments while we were on here. Haven't been a part of it, but they have.
And we are still way up north. It's still cold for my taste here,
but luckily we are not getting into port until around 12:30. So time to warm up a little bit before we run around town. One thing that I am seeing a lot of out here are fishing buoys. You can see these couple of fishing buoys that were passing by right here. All of them were spaced out equally all across here. As far as I could see fishing buoys lined up. So good fishing grounds out here apparently, but no whales. Next we'll go to a presentation on the inner workings of the ship and all the people who work on the ship.
But did you think about it? I mean, did you really think about it? How many people worked to get us to this moment? How many different systems? How many operations? How many individual moments of effort, of life, were required for this delivery? So at home, your standard toilet uses about 1.5 gallons of water per flush. Now that's almost 6 liters. But we use vacuum toilets, kind of like what they have on airplanes. And the reason's pretty simple, because our toilets, on average, only use 1 liter of water per use. And if you don't think that's a huge difference, then we need to talk about what that looks like across the entirety of a single day at sea. And sorry in advance, this may get a little bit personal, but here we go. Now, on average, people flush the toilet 7 times a day. There are about 3,000 of us here on board. So that's 21,000 flushes in one day. So let's do a little bit more math. If we used regular toilets, that would be 120,000 liters of water, or about 32,000 gallons. It's roughly the amount of water it takes to fill 2 of our pools on the Lido deck. But with our suction toilets, it means that we only use a few hot tubs worth of water. Not bad, right?
Dozens of freezers that keep everything fresh and cold. Here's Ronald. He's a member of our culinary team.
When you count all the refrigerator, we have 400 to 500, and that's all only in the main galley. We have a big galley in deck 2, and we have the bigger galley.
And after hearing the mechanicals of the ship, it's time to see some of the people who work on the ship from various departments around the ship. And we are getting ready to pull into the harbor at Portland, Maine. See the lighthouse. This may be one of the ones that we're going to take a tour to look at. And it looks like the police boat is out there waiting too. So Portland, Maine, coming into view now. All the big houses along the seashore. And I've shown you what's available through the ship, but we're doing something totally different. I didn't see available through the ship. We're going to take a town tour and go around and see the lighthouse that we just saw a little ways further back. For a fraction of the cost of anything going on around the cruise ship. The 8 of us are going for about 50 some odd dollars a person. So a little bit cheaper than the ship excursions. So we finally made it off the ship in Portland after a cluster debarkation and some unknown things. We have to, if you dock in Portland, you have to go through customs. They don't tell you that at first, but that's an hour. So they docked at 12:30. They moved us to the soonest that we could go through customs was at like 12:45. So at 1:45 we made it off the ship for our 1:30 tour. But luckily they moved us to a different tour, so now we're at 2:30. But this is what Portland looks like downtown. It's all the old buildings, the little tour boats, lobster company, all kinds of stuff around here to do. And we're going to see a lighthouse. We'll have to see what all is involved with it. There are a bunch of different tour companies, one right outside the cruise ship, but we didn't know that. Tours in Portland. So they have the potato donuts, and looks like they're feeding the seagulls with them. Even the seagulls aren't extremely excited about the potato donut. Oh, that one's after it. Nope, no potato.
Potato donut, I can take that.
Firecrackers, harmlessly enough, but they started a fire. Every house in Portland was made of wood, and the fire just danced from house to house to house. 1,900 homes were destroyed, and 10,000 people were left homeless. So we took a lesson from the Three Little Pigs. Remember the Three Little Pigs? One lived in a straw house, one was wooden, and one was brick. Which one survived? The one that was made of brick. So they took a lesson from that and rebuilt the city in brick, and it's never burned down again.
What time of year was that?
July 4th, I think that's summertime.
It's hard to tell up here.
Usually comes. And Portland Head Light is just beyond it. We can just barely see it. But that's pretty much the direction we're heading. The fort that you see, after the War of 1812, we decided we needed some protection for our city. So we went up and down the eastern seaboard and saw Fort Sumter down in Charleston. Really liked the design of it, and started to build this here about 20 years later. We got off to a slow start. After we finished the first floor, we just abandoned it. We decided, well, the reason we abandoned it was designed for cannons to use against wooden hull ships, and they were changing to steel. He'd put the same colors up on the tower. And a merchant down below would say, you know, I'm looking for a red and white flag, you know, cargo ship. And once they see red and white go up, they know it had entered the harbor. They had plenty of time to meet it down on the docks. They paid the sea captain $5 a year for that service. Now it will cost you $8 if you just want to walk to the top. But it's now, you see a beautiful view from up there. You can see about 20 miles up to the ocean and the White Mountains in New Hampshire, over 100 miles away. If you knock on that door, someone is living in there 24 hours a day. They will open it and invite you in and try to help you. If you have a serious problem, that's where you want to go.
Now we know what happened to your serial killer.
Yeah.
Then on the right is our cathedral. We just started building this when the fire hit Portland. I don't know if you can see the cross on the right. That's the highest point in the city. Nothing is higher than that cross, which I think is the way it should be. Then way off to the right, those mountains are actually in New Hampshire. Those are the White Mountains, part of the Appalachian mountain chain. So this is the western side of the cemetery, and if you haven't figured it out, this is the wealthiest part of Portland. These are all single-family homes on the left. Not a one of these is an apartment house. And the most well-known is right here on the left. Built in 1909. 19 rooms, 6 bedrooms, a ballroom on the first floor. It's owned right now by a young couple and their 3 teenage daughters. But a cottage, and they must be fans of Charles Dickens. He wrote a book called The Christmas Carol, right? The Three Ghosts. Scrooge worked really late one night. He came home after midnight. He found that his partner had passed away. He was tired, he was angry, he was irritable. He walked up to that door, reached for the door knocker, and just as he did, it exploded into the ghost of Marley. Remember? So that's what the people did. They had a wood carver carve the ghost of Marley for their front door. I think that's the coolest thing in the whole city of Portland. Tour's over, we're going back to the ship.
And after a tour of downtown, it's time for the main attraction, the Fort Williams Lighthouse. One of the lighthouses. I think this is maybe the only lighthouse that we stop at. But we saw this one from the ship. We took a picture of it from the water. And look at the lighthouse over here from the side, huh? And I think this is as good a spot as any for our selfie of this stop. A view from the lighthouse, looking across the bay in Portland. All kinds of stuff over here. Bunch of crabby rocks. All the way back. And the lighthouse right here. And this is the other side of the lighthouse. It's like a shipwreck from here. And the coastline with all the nice houses up on the cliffs. And after walking around for a bit, I think this is a better angle for the selfie. It is freezing cold still here. You can see the lighthouse off in the distance. But all the crashing rocks. But the ducks find it perfectly nice here if you see them down in the water. The ducks love this. A few more further out. Scenic view over here. The ship right between the little lighthouse that you see out over here. See the little lighthouse in the distance. And the tour bus, or tour ship. So the ship went right about where they are now, into the harbor. So we got a picture of this same lighthouse from out at sea. And after arriving back in town, we decided to walk through town back to the ship, taking along some of the flowers and the scenery along the way. Seems like everything's in bloom at this time of year. And all along, whenever that we're walking, we started seeing a lot of places selling lobster. Apparently, that's the big thing around here. Everything lobster that you can think of as we walk through the streets. Of course, it was probably a good half mile back to the ship. And Mom decided that she'd take a taxi back, so she didn't want to walk that far. And we're back home, the Zuiderdam. We calling it Zuiderdam, but it's Zuiderdam. Long walk back over here. And as soon as we arrive back on the ship, it's time for dinner. So we head down to the dining room. We typically have anytime dining, but on this trip we had anytime dining, but decided we'd prefer to eat early. So we just showed up early every night. Cheryl started off with a lettuce wedge as her appetizer, and seeing we're in New England, I tried the clams. And you know what I had for my second appetizer? Caesar salad, every night. For entrees, Cheryl has the eggplant parmesan, and she loved it. And I have the Swiss steak bourguignon. We haven't had much on this trip that we didn't care for. And for dessert, Cheryl has the Black Forest sundae. And I'll try the banana pudding. And then it's showtime. But showtime on Holland America is a little more tame than Carnival. So the staff come through and parade through the dining area, and that's it. They sing a little song and dance through. Of course, all the music they were playing was copyrighted, so I'll have my own little music over the top. And in all the excitement, we managed to spot our assistant waiter, Dee Dee. That makes Dee Dee our employee of the day. Thank you, Dee Dee, for providing excellent service to us the whole time we were on the cruise. We loved the dining staff.
Whether it's being in port or having it given to you up here on stage, people like Brett and Thunder, right? Yeah. Really bringing the spirit and energy of this area to you guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Now, when you guys do get home, you are going to receive a survey.
And then it's showtime. Tonight's entertainer is a comedian. I didn't want to copy any of his jokes because, well, they're his stuff. So I just kind of skipped all that, and we'll show you a picture of Sean Finnerty. And the sun has set over Portland, Maine. So this is our last day. Tomorrow we'll just load up and get off the ship in Boston and head back home. Pretty city though. All kinds of stuff to see and do up here. Whole lot of lighthouses. We just seen a couple of them. But we could see off in the distance other lighthouses. So, see you later, Portland. And today is the last day of our cruise. We have to get off today. As the sun comes up over Boston, our cruise is coming to an end. We're pulling into port now. We're standing at our next stop is at the airport. And you could see the planes lined up to take off. And there's one taking off right now. And we are at the very end of the runway. And you can see Boston right there. So where we're stopping at is Massport. That's the Massachusetts cruise terminal. See that in just a little bit. But first, time to get a little bit of breakfast. Then off to the airport. And we are going to walk through the room 8115. This is on the navigation deck. And just looking at the back door. One thing that this does have is down here. You see a little bar down at the bottom. There's a night light, so whenever you go to the bathroom at night, the light cuts on. But plenty of hangers in here, and this is a shelf, a couple of shelves on there. And what they have is another shelf back behind here that folds down. So if you want this to just be shelves, you can do that. On the other side is the exact same thing. So we put all the hangers in one, usually the other one is all shelves. But you could do whatever that you would like while you're here. The third one has more shelves and a safe. And what Holland America does is they have the laundry bag hanging. There's also an umbrella. Each room comes with an umbrella. So you could use that while that you're off on your trips. They also have bathrobes and blankets in the little closet also. So some nice little features with Holland America. And this is the end of the cruise, so our room is trashed right now. But we're going to walk through and show you the bathroom. It looks like these bathrooms have been redone recently because everything is bright white and definitely wasn't the way it used to be, I don't think. But they have all the shower, shampoo, things like that in here. These rooms have tubs. Not sure if all of them have tubs, but there is a big step. Yes, if you need to get over it, that's one place. And the little shelves for the bathroom. Put all your toiletries there, and plenty of space down below too. And this bathroom has one outlet, so that's where you could plug a shaver or things like that over there. But that is your typical toilet. So pretty much like all the other ones, except this is bright white. Usually you don't see them that white. Coming into the room, you have a couple of drawers on the side and a USB. And no AC outlets over here. And the TV's mounted on the wall. No outlets along this side except at the desk at the very end. So that's the only thing there. Coming through, you have a phone and a USB on this side also. So this side has a little USB. Like I say, no AC outlet. So if you have a CPAP machine, you're going to need an extension cord to run all the way over to here. This is the only outlet that we have in the room. It is these two right here. You have one outlet here and one on this side of the little mini bar. So we never used the mini bar for anything. The little awkward shelves with a hair dryer at the bottom. And then on this side, we never use it, but there is a fridge mini bar. So that comes pre-stocked with stuff in there. Like I say, we never used any of this stuff. And then on the back side, this is the couch. So, only other thing that we have is our outside balcony. Let's take you outside the balcony. Out here, just two regular chairs with stools on them and a little bitty table. You can see that's my hand on the little table, so it's little bitty. And seeing there was a group of us, we opened up the balcony doors for the next 4 rooms. There was 8 of us on this trip, so we had 4 rooms. So that's a room tour of cabin number 8115. And with that, another family vacation is in the books for 2026 with this vacation. And hopefully you've enjoyed this series. Stay tuned because we have more exciting adventures coming up. We've been waiting all year to go on this next back-to-back adventure. 2 cruises joined into one. So subscribe and hit that bell notification and be informed each time a new series comes out. And as always, thanks for watching.